So, Mr. Cockledger, if you'd like to start us out with the introduction.
I'm Darren E. Cockledger, born 10/6/62. My parents was Donald Cockledger and Louise Carnes Cockledger. I have lived here most of my life. There's 18 years of my life I didn't live here. I had a small business and a rental property I rented out in Clay City, Illinois. So I hope that today will explain a lot of things going on. Thank you.
Mr. Frederick.
My name is Richard Frederick. I go by Dick. I'm sorry I couldn't put on the suit. It's not me. To me, I think there just needs to be a change in politics, the way it works, and really just truthfulness. You know, they send us a letter with a list of the questions that they're going to ask us tonight, and we get a whole week to come up with the answer. Well, that's a script, and that makes you an actor. So you're not really getting the honest truth, what's coming right off the top of your head. That's what I think I could bring to, how I could bring a change to politics. I'm not really worried about what your last name is or where you live or how much money you make. Everybody needs to follow the same rules. There's a city ordinance book that thick. I've read it. And it really just depends on who they want to make follow the rules. And that's not how it should be. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Frederick. Mayor Short.
Well, thank you. Thank you to News Progress and so to the Chamber and Economic Development Organization for having this forum. Thank you too to all people that showed up tonight. It's important that you get an opportunity to hear the candidates. I feel that answering questions, fair questions, provides everyone with a better understanding of municipal government. As municipal officials, we are subject to a myriad of rules and regulations. Because we operate our municipal utilities, we have even more. So it's not an easy job, it's a difficult job, and one I have done and would like to continue doing to help solve it.
Thank you, Mayor Short. I'm going to start the questions this time. Mr. Cockledger, first question is to you. Do you have any concerns about the infrastructure in Sullivan? And if yes, please explain what they are.
We know that in order to attract the modern business to downtown, business not necessarily reliant on foot traffic, need to get fiber optics in place. That will diversify our options as far as economic development and growth is at a disadvantage without this upgrade. I've also been told that our sewer plant is functioning at near capacity. President Obama has made grants available for sewer projects, which other communities have used, and this is something we need to accommodate for future growth. There's also drainage issues in some parts of town where developers were allowed to skip on storm sewers and pass by the city. I expect a number of infrastructure issues to be addressed as mayor.
Thank you. Mr. Frederick, same question. Do you have any concerns about the infrastructure in Sullivan? And if yes, please explain what they are.
I do. Just looking out the window from my house, I have two neighbors that have empty office spaces that have been there for 3 years vacant. And they're a small business, maybe people in town that have a small business working out of their houses that need a place. I think that the city, the chamber could maybe work together with some of them and the property owners to try to move some people into the vacant buildings that we have, so they're not an eyesore. Thank you.
Mayor Short, same question to you. Do you have any concerns about the infrastructure of Sullivan? And if yes, please explain what they are.
Yes, we have concerns about the infrastructure of Sullivan. That's why we've taken the steps this past year to issue bonds for the upgrading of the water plant and the sewer plant, because the sewer plant has been near capacity, and that those design plans are in the works now to take care of that, and hopefully that will hold us in good stead for many years. Now, the bonds that we use to pay for that are called Build America bonds. These are the ones that the federal government has been advertising. And with the Build America bonds, we're paying those off with future TIF funds. That's all been analyzed, that we know exactly that we can pay off those bonds and have these improvements start now, rather than be faced with perhaps penalties or fines from the EPA because we don't have our sewer plant upgraded. The electric improvements that we're doing now are also part of this whole bond issue. So I feel we've made significant strides to get the infrastructure in this town up to speed, and I think there's more that we can do. I have great concerns over some areas of town where sanitary sewers are not in great shape. We need to address that, and we also need to address some drainage issues that have been there for many, many years. And everyone thinks, well, I'll do it some other time, but I think we need to start now and make these improvements while we can.
Thank you, Mayor Short. Mr. Colclasure, do you support economic development in Sullivan? And if yes, what ideas do you have to attract new businesses to Sullivan as well as support current businesses? And if no, why?
Well, since I used to own a business, I know that your first year is always a tough year. So you must look down the road 5 to 10 years. That is, just get that up, so. This is why a plan for growth which triggers venues and businesses that are complementary is so important. When Sullivan in the past had a healthy internal economy, it had multiple venues drawing people to town for different reasons. The net effect was that for whatever reason people came to town, the traffic for all venues increased. We had bowling alleys, a skating rink, a theater, and a full variety of retail business. The more you have to offer, the more likely consumers will come to town. You may come here from Bleventon to Bowling League, but you may go buy gas, go out to eat, or something else before you leave. Potential business picks up on that. They have a plan, and they want your city to have a plan too. Some people would like to see us get a steakhouse or restaurant here. There's been a complaint from Sullivan from the people who are in the fishing tournaments that we have here. No steakhouse, no hotel. Some would like to see a convention center included with a new hotel to increase the economic viability of the area. We're going to aggressively pursue a diversified growth plan that will enhance the sustainability of local businesses and try to develop an economic identity for Sullivan, something it lacks right now. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Frederick, do you support economic development in Sullivan? If yes, what ideas do you have to attract new businesses to Sullivan as well as support current businesses? And if no, why?
I'd have to say yes, but since the answer to my first question answered the second question, I'll just answer the first question with my second answer. Nobody caught that? Awesome. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Kirk. As far as the sewers, yes, they're horrible all over town. I've seen it. I wouldn't mind seeing some windmills or solar panels and maybe doing away with those big old electric generators, but I guess since they're gonna spend a bunch of money to get new ones now, that'd probably be out of the question. Thank you.
Thank you. Mayor Short, do you support economic development in Sullivan? If yes, what ideas do you have to attract new business to Sullivan as well as support current businesses? And if no, why?
Well, yes, I support economic development. Economic development is key to the growth of any community. And especially here in Sullivan, we're fortunate to have an economic development director full-time who is well qualified and is certified to handle that position. And it's I want to say, very difficult sometimes to talk with developers at council meeting, because often they don't want to put out there what their intents are. So it's good to have an economic director that can field those questions for the council, because she knows our policies. Current businesses need to be supported, and the best way to support a current business is to go there, buy things. That's what supports your businesses, not sitting around saying, well, we need to do it, and then we'll all be better off.